Hello everyone and welcome back for part 12 of this series on creating games using Construct 2. Here in part 12, we're going to talk about adding sound effects. So when we talk about sound effects, you could either get them, download them from somewhere on the internet. You got to be careful about copyright issues and stuff like that. Or there's a pretty good website for making 16-bit sound effects. So it's bfxr.net, and you can play any of these. They have some preset explosion, power up, jump, stuff like that, and then you can change all these different sliders to kind of edit and customize those sounds. So I have actually gone in and exported a couple of WAV files, and just for reference, you're going to need to use WAV files in Construct 2. Some sort of copyright issue, I think, is why they don't accept MP3s. So you're going to have to stick with WAV files, so that website I just showed you is good for exporting to WAV. So the first thing we want to do is come into our game layout, and anytime we're going to deal with audio, with sound effects and music, we want to add the audio object. So just like we do for any other object, double click, and then here on the left under media is the audio object. Go ahead and insert. And now we need to come over to our, I need to actually get rid of some of these. Let's see. Let me delete these real quick because I've gotten ahead of myself. Alright. So the next thing we want to do is we want to actually import our sound files into the project. So under the projects pane and the sounds folder, we can right click on that folder and import sounds. And then I've got two sounds, jump and shoot. Pretty simple. Open those, say OK. Now they pop up in the sounds folder. So since we added the audio object, that's what's going to give us the events and actions we need to actually play our audio. So we want to play these two sounds on two separate occasions, two separate events. The shoot, we're going to play in the on shoot that we have for the turret, and then the jump we're going to play anytime the user presses the up arrow. And anytime we want to detect input from the keyboard, we have to add the keyboard object to the game, very similar to the audio object. So just double click in here and add keyboard, insert. So now let's hop over to the event sheet, and we already have this on turret shoot. So let's use the same event and just add another action here to come in and audio, and then play this shoot sound. And then we don't want it to loop, we just want it to play once and be done. And then the volume 0 might seem kind of confusing. That might seem like it would be muted, but that's actually the original volume of the file. -10 would give you about half as loud, and then 10 would give you twice as loud, etc. So just keep that in mind. So let's we're done with that. It's pretty simple. And then we need to add another event for the keyboard input using the up arrow. So let's add event, and then the keyboard object, and then on key pressed. So anytime a certain key is pressed, and we will choose the up arrow there. So anytime the up arrow is pressed, we're going to go into the audio and play, just the general play again, and play jump, not looping, volume 0, all that stuff. So now let's run our game again. Switch over to the game. Now you should hear him shooting at me, and let's see, and my jumping sound. And actually the jumping sound is a little too loud, so I'm going to come in and change this to -10, so it should be half as loud, and run it again. And now it's basically half as loud. It's a little bit better. I might put it down a little bit more if I were actually taking time to put this game together. But pretty straightforward. And that's it for adding audio. And in the next video, we're going to add on a mute button, so the user has the option of whether or not they want to actually hear those sounds. So stay tuned.